Also, I'm proud to say that I have just removed SimCity Social from my life after.
Yes, I saw. I got an invite to play from Ryan Davis.
Sorry, I apologize for that.
I think I'm just going to start making a Facebook list of defriending anybody who has sent me one of those SimCity Social.
The thing is, like, it is. I haven't done a ton of Facebook gaming before. Played a little bit of Unit No Jack and enjoyed that, and just some words with friends through that interface or whatever, which is always an awful experience. Facebook's a terrible platform for playing games. Yeah. First and foremost, make that crystal clear. Like, that's like the social hooks that exist there. I could see those being leveraged to good, and stuff like words with friends or draw something. Would use those to good ends, but when it is just constantly, when it's something like SimCity Social, where the design is just constantly, hey, why don't you send this? You just did something. Why don't you post this to your wall? Hey, why don't you ask your friends to help you with this? It's like so overbearing with that shit. And I don't know if, how...
We'll give you 2 monkeys if you do it.
I don't know how that
and
compares.
then you'll be sending 2 monkeys to them as well, so everybody wins.
I don't know what... And that's the other thing, is it's doing it so often, I'm like, I'm not even sure what you're actually saying. I don't know what you're putting out on my behalf. And then suddenly you realize, wait, you've been spamming all of my fucking friends with awful shit. So I've been, I was trying to hedge against that, but that's a game that really speaks to me. The one of the problems with free to play games, or with a certain style of free to play games, which is kind of the Zynga model, the energy based model, is you are exposed to the metagame so quickly. Like the roadblock of, hey, you can't do this anymore right now because we've established this like false barrier of, you have to wait time for something to recharge, or you have to ask your friends to do it, or you can pay us money and we'll give us money and we'll give you this currency and you can convert that into this other thing. And all of a sudden I am thinking about, like, all of my attention is focused on literally everything but the game. Right. It is suddenly about, like, okay, what's the best way for me to get this stuff? What thing do I actually need to do to get whatever the resource is that I need to be able to do the next thing? And it's not just like, hey, there are these gameplay systems of, there's the tech tree, and okay, you need to do this before you can do that, so that means you need to collect this much money. But it's all hooked into either like money, time, or bugging your friends with status updates constantly.
I think they kind of, they dropped that game very specifically right as there's been like sort of a heightened interest in SimCity as a franchise coming out of E3. Everyone's like super into the new one. So I think, from a franchise point of view, it made real sense to drop this now when everyone's like real giddy to play new SimCity. So I think, in this case, they got a lot of people that would have been like, fuck, I'm not playing a Facebook game. It's like, but I do want to play some SimCity, so I guess I'll give this a shot. So smart from a PR standpoint, but seems to have blown back pretty hard for them, because most people I know that have played it have been like, yeah, time to energy, which seems to be like sort of like the metric for these games, is pretty quick.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
I've not heard anyone saying nice things about their time with SimCity Social. It's all been people just like bitching about how much it spams onto their wall or friends' walls or whatever, and then people saying like this game just looks like a scam.
Yeah, but then it kind of makes me think, well, all of these games kind of look like scams.
But some are better at hiding it than others, and some offer you more game before the business comes into play.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that, so I don't think Pocket Planes is a great game, because it feels like it's barely a game. You just kind of direct these flights, and there's no real opposition. There's no real
tiny
strategy.
Tower guys, right?
Yeah. But the one thing I'll say is that you can kind of just keep playing it. You get to a point where you're sending your planes on these flights, and it takes like 24 minutes of real time for them to fly. But by that time, you've probably got enough planes in the air that there's kind of always something landing. Or so it'll be like, 3 minutes until I can do something again.
See, but that is smart, because
so it's sort of this perpetual, like, if you want to put all your time into it, you sort of could. You just shouldn't.
I mean, that's the thing, is you literally hit a point pretty quickly in SimCity Social where you can't do anything. It's not a matter of like, well, I can't do this one like super big thing, I have to wait for that to charge up. It's like, you can't do anything.
It's not even like you couldn't do something really mundane to just distract yourself while you're waiting.
No, it's
for
like
energy.
even the most basic of activities like that takes energy, and you don't have any energy. And until you get energy, you're completely fucked.
That just seems like a poorly designed game. Irrespective of like the free to play stuff. It's, the free to play predicates why this ends up being poorly designed, but that just seems like a good way to annoy a bunch of people.
Yeah, I think a point that a lot of free to play games still need to think more intelligently about is, how long are they going to let you go before the impediments kick in, or is there a way to make this work without that sort of structure?
I guess they got rid of all of the free to play stuff in Age of Empires Online, so now it's just truly just free to play.
Oh, weird!
Like the experiment of buying stuff is over apparently.
Wait, so you just play everything in there now?
I guess so.
What?
Yeah,
like all the races or whatever.
I think so. I think they gave up on that stuff. So now it's just a free game.
I wonder if they ever even got past Greece and Egypt. Those were the launching civilizations. Right. I wonder if they had
there was a third one that did come out.
Persia? I think they had the Celts on the schedule, and there was one other. I think
because they sold a season pass up front.
Yeah,
that was
that's the thing. They were selling 6 months worth of content from day one.
I bet they must have released all that.
Surely
stuff.
They hit all that stuff, and maybe just nobody was buying into it.
We would have heard about it by now, but yeah,
right. So I wonder if all that stuff's just out there.
Huh?
I didn't hate that game. That one
was.
It was okay.
It was well made.
Yeah, that was a decent RTS,
and it felt like the stuff that you were paying for, for the most part, I felt okay about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you were buying new features in that game, not convenience,
right?
Surcharges or whatever.
But that was what got me, Patrick. Was the
name?
Gosh, I could really go for some SimCity. Yeah. If there's a SimCity that maybe has some fun social hooks in it, but that is not SimCity Social.
Well, no,
SimCity 2000 has all the social hooks you need. Take screenshots of your city and then send it to your friends and say, "Look at my fucking city. It's awesome."
It did almost get me to the point, but here's the thing about the Facebook stuff that works and makes sense. That the advantage there is that it is easy and quick to casually load something. If it's something that's I'm going to spend 2 minutes doing something here, it's super easy to just slide right into that. So if they can just make fucking some better games, make a better SimCity on Facebook,
yeah, it seems like that should I don't want to say it's easy, but it seems like that should be a doable thing.
I have, for some reason, I don't remember where I got them. I had some Facebook credits on my Facebook account,
which I guess they're getting rid of now.
Which I decided I'm never going to use these for fucking anything else because I don't commerce through Facebook. So let's burn these off for this. And I felt like even that, it was equivalent to $20, maybe $25. And I burned through all of those resources over the weekend, and I don't feel like it was a huge advancement to the experience. Or anything.
You got anything out of it?
I guess I I did build stuff and progress missions and level up or whatever, but I still felt like there's just my city doesn't seem vastly bigger because I sunk $25 into it.
Some of the Phantasy Star Online 2 stuff for their free to play hooks are interesting and potentially things that will make people very mad. Some of it makes sense. You want another character slot, it's $5 or 500 yen, I guess is what
I think stuff like that makes sense.
Yeah, but then it's if you want the ability to trade items with other users, yeah. If you want to be able to run your own player-run shop, which that makes sense.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. But I think that might be a recurring. There's part of what they're calling the premium set or whatever, and you get the player housing, which you don't really need. It's kind of dumb. And some of that other stuff, for 60 days or 90 days, depending on how much you want to pay. And they're kind of tying it into that. So assuming there are enough people that want to do the social and cosmetic side of that game,
yeah.
That they want the extra parts and they want to I want to buy extra cool cosmetic stuff for my guys and then have a house where our team can congregate and chat and all that sort of crap, dance, whatever. That makes sense. But yeah, item trading might be the one that's on the other side of the line of this might be too far.
That's not cosmetic.
No, it is not.
That is a very basic feature set of games where that is a loot driven game.
Yeah. But there's so much loot. You are kind of finding loot on your own. So it's all the time. So maybe it's not the end of the world. I certainly haven't been if only I could trade these items with another person. But
that just seems like one of those features that especially with these types of games, it's easy to turn people off, get them really cynical about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stick to the cosmetic stuff.
That's the one that I've seen so far that looks a little dicey.
Well, on that note, let's talk about some news.